What's up YouTube, it's your boy Flight JV. I'm back with another video. In today's video we're going to be talking about fitness as an airline pilot. And the reason I'm making this video is because I get a lot of people asking me about my workout plan, how I work out, how I stay in shape, blah blah blah. And basically I thought it was an important video subject because people like us airline pilots and other people who have jobs that require them to be away from home, travel a lot and have an inconsistent schedule basically, have a lot of difficulty staying in shape. And the thing is, I don't do anything miraculous. I just want to take you along for the ride and explain to you my own plan and how I prepare myself for the gym and how I organize my schedule and how I basically have workout plans in my mind when I go in hotels and try to stay in shape basically. So it's all about organization, knowing which muscles you're trying to work, what you're trying to do, and just trying to keep a balance overall. So thank you for tuning in. Let's get into it. Fly JV forever. Let's get it. The first thing I do when I get into the gym for a hotel workout is warm up. And I do that by skipping rope. Now, skipping rope is what I personally do. You can run, you can jog, you can get on the bike and cycle, you know. But skipping rope for me is the best because I used to do boxing for a lot of years and I'm used to that. And it's actually been proven that skipping rope is actually more efficient than running because not only is it less high impact, it is also more efficient in terms of how much it burns fat, and just overall it's better because it does work your upper body in terms of your shoulders and your forearms because you're actually spinning the rope, and it works your legs as well because you're jumping. Now, the speed at which you're skipping rope actually matters because that's what's gonna impact the most on your performance and the actual results of your warm-up. But like I said, it's what works for me. Do what works for you, but I highly recommend that. It has been proven by scientists that running for about 30 minutes equates to about 10 minutes of rope skipping. So keep that in mind. Now, like I said, you can always use the treadmill. You can always use a cycling machine or whatever. It's up to you. But what I recommend also is doing high intensity interval training, which basically means accelerating and decelerating from time to time to increase the efficiency of your workout and your warm-up. Now, the first exercise I'm going to be doing is push-ups. It can be done anywhere, anytime, no equipment required. It works your triceps, it works your chest, and it's very efficient. 5 sets, 10 reps.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Now, the reason I like push-ups so much, it's a bodyweight exercise that can be done anywhere, anytime, at the hotel, at the gym, at the hotel gym, at home, no equipment, with equipment. You can do it anywhere, anytime. It works on your chest, it works on your triceps. The closer together your arms are, the more you'll be focusing on your triceps, which is going to give you bigger arms. And the more apart they are, the more you'll be focusing on your chest. There's many alternatives like diamond push-ups, etc., etc. And it's an alternative to doing a barbell bench press together, which might not always be available if you're traveling a lot or if you're an airline pilot basically. So do not neglect your push-ups. 5 sets, 10 reps. The second exercise I'm going to get into is the pull-ups. It's a body weight exercise that is not to be trifled with. It works the whole upper body. And to make you understand how important it is I'm going to say this. If you only work pull-ups, if you do nothing else than pull-ups at the gym, you will get jacked. If you do only pull-ups, you will get jacked. That's how important it is. It works your shoulders, it works your lats mainly, it works your teres major, it works your lower traps, it works your biceps, it even works your triceps, and it works a bit of your pecs. It works your abs as well, a little bit. So it really works on your whole upper body. This exercise here that my friend the cabin crew guy is doing is a variant that is very hard to do, and I do not recommend you to do that if you are a beginner. I could not even pull off that move really well. So stick to regular pull-ups, and if you want to switch it up, you can do chin-ups like I'm doing on here, which will basically focus on your biceps a little bit more than the pull-ups themselves. If you have difficulty doing them, I suggest doing lat pull downs on the machine so you can set what you want to do. Our next exercise, we're going to be moving on to the biceps. Now, I'll be talking about the hammer curls and the regular curls. Right here, I'm doing the hammer curls, which has to do with the grip. I'm holding the bar vertically. You can do that with dumbbells, or you can do it with the bar that I'm using on here. So when you hold the bars vertically like that, what happens is you work the long head of your muscle. Your bicep has two sides, basically the long head and the short head, and by doing hammer curls you work the long head, which basically makes your bicep look bigger even when you're not contracting the muscle. And when you do regular curls like I'm doing right now, you're going to be working the short head, which basically works on the peak of your muscle and like the little triangle shape when you contract the muscle. So I suggest alternating between these two to get bigger biceps and just a better workout overall. Now the next exercise is a push-up burpee variant, which I like to call the push-up burpee with no jump. So what happens is, like the name says, you're going to be doing a push-up at the bottom of the movement and you're not going to be jumping at the top of the movement. And it's done in sets, and basically you do 5 times the movement, and every time you finish one set you add one push-up at the bottom of the exercise. So I'm going to let my cabin crew brother explain it for me.
The exercise is only 6 movements. 1 down, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 you're done. Alright? And that depends if we can go down for like 2, 3, 4, 5 push-ups before we come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go again.
Now the thing about this exercise is it's like a push-up. It works the same thing, but at the same time, since you're moving so much, it also works on your cardio, and it makes the whole exercise more cardiovascular and more aerobic, basically, working on things more than just your muscles. So it can be a good alternative to just doing push-ups, or you can do both if you have the stamina and the strength, if that's possible. Yeah, bro, so like you just said, biceps, forearms we've been working on. We did a few push-ups as well in the beginning. That works triceps, chest, and yeah. So it's important, like when you get some time, to do it as much as you can. For this next exercise, what you're going to need is a ball, a mat if you have a dirty floor, and a partner. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on the abs. So this exercise is pretty simple. One is up, one is down, and the partner is going to be stepping on the feet of the one that's on the ground, and he's going to be throwing the ball on the other one, and you're just going to be catching it. So the tricky thing about this exercise is basically your partner has to surprise you with the side on which he throws the ball to actually work your obliques. So if he throws it to the left, you'll be catching it to the left and working your obliques, etc., etc. If he throws it at the center or at the top, it'll be working on the middle part of your abs, the top or the bottom. So it's a very good exercise that not only works your abs, it also works on your reflexes and your speed. And it is important that you do this correctly by actually absorbing the kinetic energy of the ball and not just tapping the ball and catching it like you would in a normal game, because you're trying to work your abs, you're not just trying to catch the ball. Okay, so very good exercise. Next abs exercise. Now what we're going to be doing is the same placement. The only thing that changes is the movement, and there's no ball involved this time. It's 3 different movements. So you start at the bottom and basically you do a sit-up, get up, and tap the hands of your partner. So every time you tap the hands, he's going to be lifting his hands higher up for 3 levels. So there's the bottom level, the middle level, and the top level. And after you reach the top level and actually successfully do it, he's going to be dropping his arms back down, and you're going to be repeating from the beginning. So you do that and you switch. Now the importance of this exercise is on coming down, it actually works your abs a lot, provided you actually put a lot of tension to stop the fall from being just what it is, a fall. You have to actually break it, you know. Don't just let yourself fall to the ground. That's the whole point of the exercise as well. Now to end the workout, what I like to do is some boxing. I don't do it all the time, but it's if I feel like I've got the energy, it's always something that's very good to do. Here I had a partner, so I did a sparring session with him for a round or two of 2 minutes each. And the amazing thing with boxing, it works everything. It works every part of your body. It works your abs and your shoulders with the punches that you throw. If you're throwing uppercuts, you're even working your biceps and triceps. And you know, you're moving so much, you're working on your cardio, your stamina, endurance, everything like that. And it's just an amazing workout, really, man. It works on your back as well, with your shoulders, with just the guard that you have. So you should never underestimate a good boxing workout. Just the footwork and moving, it works on your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, everything, bouncing around, having footwork. So you should incorporate that if you're interested. You do not need to be good at boxing to have a good boxing workout and use it to actually work out. And you do not need a partner to always spar. You can just use the bag. As you can see, we had a bag right next to us. So if I was alone, I would have just hit the bag for a few rounds. A round is about 2 minutes. And yeah, just throw some punches, move around, do some footwork. Do it for a round or two. It's always a good way to finish the workout, to work on everything and just, you know, shake everything off.